Sometimes you might see the union keyword in a program and wonder what that's all about. Well, here's a brief insight into its usage. So a union is a special C data type, like an integer or a floating point, that allows storage of different data types at the same memory location, so you're reusing the storage area. You can define a union to have as many members as you like, but a union can only contain a single value at any one time, and I'll show that in a moment. So unions provide a storage efficient method of using your variables. It takes its name from the mathematical term of sets and unions and A intersection B intersection C, etc. So here's an example. Union, my example, it's comprised of floating point temperature, integer humidity, and a byte sensor address. The total storage for the union consumes only 4 bytes, not, as you might traditionally have expected, 9 bytes, using a type structure definition. So here's 2 examples: a structure of employees and a union of employees, some large fields for first name and second name. Note that using union consumes 25 bytes, whereas using the structure approach uses 58 bytes. You can see it's much more memory efficient. Let's go ahead and define an employee record type of ID, first name, second name, office number and salary. You assign your variables in the normal way that you would use any other variable of a structure, this time a union though. So employee ID equals 100, employee name equals David. You have to copy a string because it's a char array, and employee salary 10,000. Print the values out and they work as you might expect. If you wanted to define a type for your project that you can use anywhere throughout your project, you can define what I would call a general purpose project data type and include everything you can think of. And note that in the union approach, it still only occupies 8 bytes. So you win in some areas, you lose in others, but it enables you to use a single data type without having to worry about what type of data you're going to assign to a variable. And you use it normally as you would any other variable type. In summary then, a union is a keyword, so you can recognize it when you see it in programs, and hopefully now have a brief insight as to why it's being used. I've given examples of why it might be used, and using a union reduces storage overheads, which is very important if you've got particularly large amounts of data you want to store, and that ability to define your own data type is exceptionally useful. I hope you found this technical note interesting and useful.